We're starting this first day of November off with a little bit of fog and a dense fog advisory for Benton, Washington, Madison, and Carroll counties. Now that expires at 8 o'clock. That fog will be out of here 10 o'clock this morning. And we're actually going to have warmer weather today than where we were yesterday with just a very light breeze outside. It's going to be the perfect fall weather and great finish to this weekend. Now we have some rain coming back in that 7-day forecast, Laura. So we will take another look at that coming up in just a few minutes.
Hey, we'll see you then, Melissa. Thank you. Well, for those of you just now waking up with us, remember to adjust your clock 1 hour back. That's if you haven't already. According to a British study, by the way, the extra hour of sleep could be good for you. The study found the risk of a heart attack fell 10% in the fallback change. Let's now turn to sports, where the Razorbacks dominated yesterday in Fayetteville for their homecoming game. They played against UT Martin, which is their last non-conference game of the year. Arkansas won that game 63-28. The standout player was running back Alex Collins, who rushed for 173 yards and 5 touchdowns on 16 carries. Next Saturday, the Hogs play Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi. In Oklahoma, the state's texting while driving ban is taking effect today. Under this law, texting any words on your phone while driving is illegal. That means no email, social media, or even typing a location into a map while moving the car. Anyone caught doing this while driving will face up to a $100 fine. Police say voice activation and texting at a stoplight is approved, but they encourage drivers to set their GPS and send any messages before hitting the road. In international news, new details continue emerging as Russian investigators try to figure out how a Russian Airbus carrying 224 people crashed. So far, ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack, but both Russia and Egypt deny this. The plane's wreckage was spotted in an area in Egypt where the government and Islamic State militants have clashed. The Russian Airbus 321 took off Saturday morning from a popular Egyptian resort town and was headed to St. Petersburg, Russia. In national news, a Halloween horror unfolded in New York last night when a car drove into a group of trick-or-treaters. It happened at 5 o'clock in the evening in the Bronx. 3 people were killed, a 65-year-old man, a 24-year-old, as well as a 10-year-old girl. 4 others were hospitalized, including the driver of the vehicle that went into the crowd. Now, some eyewitnesses describe the scene.
We heard the boom, 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 the cars hitting each other and the car flying, and then we were hearing screams.
I saw the cars come up in the air and fly into the yard. It was horrible, man. Another person was crushed underneath the car. It was horrible.
Police suspect the driver may have suffered a seizure in the moments before the deadly crash, but investigators are still hammering out all the details. Back here at home, fortunately, nothing like that happened here, but 5 News reporter Chandler Rogers stopped by some of the fun events going on in the River Valley to experience the Halloween spirit. Take a look.
Our first stop was trunk-or-treating in downtown Van Buren, but there was a lot more going on than just handing out candy.
We're having ghost tours tonight for Halloween.
For those wanting a trick instead of a treat, Arkansas Ghost Hunters of Crawford County hosted ghost tours of historic buildings in downtown Van Buren.
We do have experiences on things that might tug on your clothes or your hair, or you may hear a weird noise, something like that. We basically tell everybody the history of the buildings.
But for those wanting a treat, there were games, pony rides, and lots of candy. Our next stop was the Haunted Union at the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. There were carnival games and trick-or-treating, but the big attraction was the haunted house.
I'm expecting there to be a lot of gore, a lot of scariness. I love gore and scariness. I watch a lot of American Horror Story, so my expectations are high.
But some people aren't so brave.
So how long did all of this take?
What are you doing in here?
Oh my gosh. We started planning in August.
Kaylin Townsend is with the Campus Activities Board that has worked with other student organizations to put on the Haunted Union for its 12th year, and all their hard work paid off for some scares.
It was really scary. I didn't like the bloody people.
In the River Valley, Chandler Rogers, 5 News.
I think some of the kids were braver than Chandler in that haunted house, but she did a great job. She was a good sport. Well, in other news where you live, a group of volunteers from the Red Cross in our area are headed to Texas this morning. 4 volunteers from Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley packed up supplies as they went to assist residents near Austin hit hard by the weekend flooding that has claimed the lives of 6 people. Volunteer Linda Morgan has been on over 50 missions, and she says they're focusing on helping out with basic needs.
It's just being able to help the people that are been just devastated with the disasters that hit them. So I just like being there to help them out.
Morgan says they'll be focusing on Austin and plan to be there for at least 2 weeks. She says that as of Friday, they gave over 4,000 blankets, 2,000 cots, and 2,000 hygiene kits to people in the Austin area. Looking ahead, there was a twist to this week's Bentonville First Friday celebrations. This is coming up this Friday. It's being held in tandem with Toyland. Things kick off at 11 o'clock in the morning at the downtown square. Toyland offers kids the chance to get a sneak peek at the latest toys. This event is sponsored by Walmart, Star Wars, and Disney. For those lucky ones who do get to go, they'll be able to meet a star of the show Descendants, who's Sophia Carson. Pretty neat. Well, also looking ahead, the civil rights ordinance Fayetteville voters passed a few months ago is expected to go into effect on Saturday. That's unless a judge issues a stay on the order. Judge Doug Martin will hear a lawsuit brought on by the group Protect Fayetteville. The group claims the law violates the Interstate Commerce Act, which Arkansas legislators passed earlier this year. This ordinance extends civil rights protections to people in the LGBT community when it comes to jobs and housing. It is 7:54 on the clock as you're starting your day with us. Good morning to all of you. On your screen is a list of events happening today across the area if you're looking for something to do. This information from our community calendar is always available on 5newsonline.com. Melissa's back with a final check of the forecast after this break.
You're watching 5 News This Morning, where more people get their news in the morning.